Welcome to class, y'all. Thanks for coming in. Before I get started, I'm actually going to remember this time to ask if anyone has any questions or anything they want to go over before we do a lesson. Okay, cool. So we're going to be going over pressure passing. We're starting a new series. Pressure passing is my preferred style of passing for anything that's like competitive competition or whatever. I think it's also applicable for like self-defense situations. There could be different schools of thought on that, but I love pressure passing because you're controlling your opponent, you're controlling the distance, you're insisting on the pace and the intensity that you want to go at, and you're just basically imposing your will on your opponent. Agility passing or stand-up passing is a lot of fun. It's got a lot more movement, there's a lot more dynamism there, but as far as like you wanting to win or dictate the engagement, I think pressure passing gives your opponent way fewer options than like you're in control of the situation. Sam's obviously a big fan of pressure passing and a big proponent of it, and that's like how I started, was his textbook like over-under passing. And it also changed really well with double unders. So today we're just going to start with the basic concepts of pressure passing, and we're going to be using the over-under pass to demonstrate a lot of those concepts. So if I could use Jason here. So for those that aren't familiar with the pass, I'll just do the over-under pass pretty quickly here so you can see, but we'll start from headquarters position, and the over-under pass is called over-under because I'm over one leg and I'm under on the other one, and when I'm in the pass, it looks like this. So I've got under his far leg over the close one, and if we start from like a headquarters position or like a De La Diva, it's just gonna look like a step over and a stuff. So I'm underhooking this leg here, and I'm hopefully stuffing this one down. And the control points I'm looking for here are an anchored grip on the belt, on the undergrip, and I'm really just looking to feed my arm as deep as I can over on the overside. And I'm really thinking about dominating the knee. That's the key to this pass. So if we start from passing, right, I've got to get past his feet, then his knee, then his hips, and I'm just moving up the joints as I advance. So once we get to here, I've got my grip anchored here, and I'm pulling him in. I'm thinking about pinning his hips with my chest, and I'm trying to beat his knee with my knee. Less glamorous way to think about this is like humping his knee. I really want to make sure that it's straight and flat. And this lever is going to pin that hip, and the pass is going to finish right here. And as I pass this over, I'm looking to anchor this grip on his gi. If I can swing, if I'm tall enough, which I'm not on Jason, if I can swing under his head and get collar. And then we want to finish here. Finish the pass there. So that's like the basic over-under pass. So we're going to get with our partners and just start from the headquarters pass. We're going to over-under stuff, anchor the grip here, feeding this through. Once we have this leg between our leg, we're going to walk his hips to the side, and that turns his hips even more, opening up all this elbow-knee space. So that we can back step into here, looking to catch his leg with our knee here, so we can turn his hips even more. And that exposes the back as we're coming around. And we can sometimes just go straight to a seatbelt and advance the position from there. But worst case scenario, we're finishing in side control. Any questions on this? Cool, let's go with our partners, 2 times each, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sure. If everyone wants to bring it in, we're going to go over a couple details. I'll start with that one first. So you're saying headquarters position, like what is it essentially?
Yeah, I've seen like versions of it in
Sure.
context.
Yeah, it's like position 0, combat based or whatever, but it's basically like generally he's playing like a sort of De La Diva guard. He may or may not have any kind of grips, but I'm just kind of here. So I've got base and I've got grips of some kind. I mean, you could even just be here, but like this is headquarters of position 0. It's just like he's definitely in guard, I'm passing, and it's like...
Am I looking for 2 feet in, 2 feet out, 1 foot in, 1 foot, like from his stance?
For the guy on the bottom or the guy on top?
The guy on the bottom.
I mean, you could do whatever. But generally, it's like De La Diva-ish, so he might have a hook, and he might have like foot control here, but he could also just be here.
Okay.
You know, it's like whatever. It's like a neutral position, so he doesn't have advantage at all, really. I don't either. So that's just like the default starting position. But like if, you know, we're just sparring, you might start like this and you might be sitting up and I'll push you over and come up or whatever. But so a couple details on the over-under are, it's really easy to get triangled here if you don't dominate this foot and like stuff and come over. Because all he needs for a triangle is this. right? And so if I'm starting here and I'm trying to get over this leg, I have to make sure that my elbow and knee are connected as I dominate this leg, because if he's able to pull this out, I'm in a triangle. If you go back and watch any of my competition videos coming up, I'm in triangles all of the time. At US Nationals, as a blue belt, I spent 4.5 minutes of a 5-minute match in a triangle and managed to pass after he got tired. I don't advise doing that. It was a hard lesson for me to learn. But yeah, like, you really want to make sure that you are dominating this leg. And if you feel like he's starting to get his knee out, I need to retreat. That's a lesson that I learned the hard way, is if you are losing the advantage moving forward, don't stay there. Retreat, try again, you can switch tactics. We'll go over this at the next class, but the over-under and the double-under chain together really well. So you can like go for the over-under, and if you feel like you're not going to be able to finish, don't get swept. Don't let him like put you into some bad situation. Come back, start again. The other thing is that if your opponent is a lot stronger than you, they might be able to like really violently throw their hips and roll you over. So if Jason like grabs my arm and does like a hip roll, I'm toast there, because this is a very powerful lever that I'm trying to dominate with his hips, but he can also use it as like a hook, almost like a butterfly sweep, and throw me the other way. So I want to make sure that I kill this leg as much as possible, and there's 2 ways of doing that. Either compressing it really tightly with my knees here, like pinching above his knee is going to stop him from being able to really generate much power with that, or humping it to the ground and flattening it entirely, sprawl. I can't stay here though, because this isn't a great position, but once I'm here, I can do a little footwork and beat the leg and get it to the other side. The other piece is finishing as I'm advancing. If he is like fencing here, and like I can't really come in here and get grips or whatever, I can start low and anchor on the belt, and I don't have to worry yet about controlling his shoulders, and I can stay here until I'm beating his legs. Then once I've got the legs beaten, then I can worry about advancing off his body there. Because if I'm in space here, he can grab a more grip. So I don't want to be reaching. If I'm ever reaching up his body, you always want to be palm up. You can't get Kimura if your palm's up. If I'm reaching palm down, that's when you can slap the Kimura grip on. So there's just a couple of details there. Let's get back with our partner, and we'll just go through this one more time. Starting from position 0, stuffing, connection here. And when I'm walking, I want to think about being up on my toes, knees together, and I'm tiptoeing over here. Then once I get the leg across, I'm doing the leg work, keeping the knee open. For my preference, I like to reach underhand up towards the back so I can grab the collar, pull myself towards him, keeping this shoulder up and pinned with my chest, and going straight to the seatbelt so that we can do a back take off that. That's my preferred method, because it's skipping the step of having to be on his side. I can go straight for the back. If he's beating you there and you can't get it, again, you can just anchor on the belt, knee in here, tuck this in, go to the traditional side control. So person on bottom, give them a couple different resistances, try to flip them over, try to fight them so that they have to work a little bit for that grip. And person on top, work through those options of either pinching and tiptoeing or humping down, and cycle through those a couple times each.
When you hump down, do you want to lift back up on your toes or just kind of drag with the...
It depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because if they're fighting you there, you just want to get off the leg and get it over there. If they're not really fighting you there, you can kind of stay there for a second. Sam probably would not be opposed to me saying that this is a great position to stall a little bit from. If you're really dominating their hips, you can kind of hang out here for a second, catch your breath, and then move. So it really just depends on how strong they are, how explosive they are, or what they're giving you. Any other questions? Cool, let's go with our partners for that a couple times. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, bring it in. We had one question about the stuffing of the foot, so I just want to go over in detail on that real quick. If you're on both feet and they don't really have like a determined in-out or whatever, you can pick which side you want to go to. If they're playing like a Del Hiva, for me, it's easier to stuff this foot because this one's behind my leg and it's going to be easier to get this one out of the way and come that way, but it's really whatever is there, like play what's in front of you essentially. The other thing I want to talk about is dominating the foot before you then advance to the knee. So like realistically, I'm going to probably have to stuff this foot and pin it to his butt before I can then get over the hip. I'll try to show it on this side. So stuffing this foot and pinning here, now I can dominate, because he's not just going to let me like shove his whole leg through, right? So from the headquarters position here, I can swim under here and anchor on the belt on the far side. I can anchor on the belt on the near side, or even just grab his leg. And I'm thinking about pushing his hip to his butt, which makes this very weak, like he can't really butterfly sweep me now. So now that I've dominated the foot and made this lever really short, then I can stuff this and pass from my shoulder to my knee, and I'm here, and my arm's already stuffed. And I just extend my leg and pinch from there. Now, sorry, before I go over the next piece, are there any questions? Okay, cool. So another really common defense you'll see, especially from like bigger or stronger opponents, is that they will shove your head away and they will bring this knee in as like a knee shield. So he's gonna club my head and bring this over. This can be tough to deal with, but a really easy switch off of the over-under here without giving a position is to a lace pass. So I'm gonna lace this arm over the top and through, give myself a pant grip here, and I'm gonna pin his knees together here. Now from here, I'm gonna do a reach up and anchor on his gi. If I can't get high, I can go low. And I'm just trying to pull him towards me, which is gonna bend his spine and make him weak. Keeping this lace grip here and pinning with my shoulders. Then I'm gonna pop up on my toes, do leg work to get out past his legs, and then I'm in this tripod position. From here, there's two ways to finish. I can continue to go in this direction, lift the legs, swim my knee underneath his legs, and finish on the side. Or it's a lot more fun, and it was pretty fun and fancy, to hop over, pull his legs up, put it on the shelf here. I've still got the grip on the pants and the collar. I bring them both together to let myself get under the head and finish on the side there. So one more time, that transition. We're in over-unders. He clubs my head and brings us in, no problem. I start by putting my chest on his leg so it can't get away. Give myself a nice grip here on the pants, hand it to myself, palm up on the collar. Put my head onto his hip, and I tripod and walk away. Then to finish, I can either lift here, or hop over, shelf his legs, and finish on the side. Any questions on that?
So I know you're talking to us, and that's why you're looking up to face us, but just to avoid your neck ever being exposed as a risk, or you might just keep my head to his side to side.
Yeah, so one of the side effects / not fun parts of playing pressure passing, your face becomes like a third arm, or leg, or shoulder, or whatever. This is the way I play it. You can play it a little gentlier, more gentle to yourself. I use my face as a Zamboni, and I'm just plowing up his body. That's how I think about it. I can share pictures of what I look like after a competition. My face just looks beat to hell because I'm just grinding the whole time. So I'm here, I'm grinding my head up to his hip. Yeah, I was only looking up so that y'all could hear me. But I'm using my head as a tripod. The tripod is my head and my feet. So I'm driving into him with my head, and that's keeping his hips pinned. And then from here, pulling or jumping. And only then do I pick my head up a little bit. Good question. Any other ones there? Cool, let's try that over-under lace combo a couple times. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, I want to go over 2 quick details before I ask if there's any more questions. Then we'll do a positional and hit some regular sparring. The first detail is on that tripod. Make sure when you're doing the tripod that you're using your forehead and not like the side of your face. You want to like shrug your shoulders a little bit to protect your neck. And I'm on the top of my head. So I'm not going to scrape my face too bad if I'm doing this, and I'm protecting my neck. I'm not like this, I'm not like this, and the crown of my head on him. And that lets me stay pretty mobile as well. The second piece was on the bottom guy for that knee shield that's coming in. When this knee shield comes in, the reason it's coming in is because he's trying to defeat my underhook on his leg. So he's going to be wedging this knee in and trying to like collapse my arm. and the force is coming down, it's gonna compromise my arm and shoulder, and my natural instinct is gonna be to pull out of it. But because he's clamping his legs together, I'm taking what he gives me, and I'm letting him staple his legs together, and then I'm just keeping them there. So that's like the reaction. What can happen from here is that he opens back up, and then I go right back to over-under. So to start the positional, let's start with over-under here. Heel clamp down, go to lace, let him go back open again, go back to over-under, and then finish the pass. And then once you guys have done that a couple times, you can go like a little bit more live from that position, but still keep it about 50%, don't go too crazy. And we'll do that 2 minutes for each on top and bottom. Any questions about these transitions, positions, and
Yes.
positional?
Can you show, again, when you shelf, almost like that butterfly, but if you can't like push it through?
On the foot?
Yes.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, do you mind if I use you? You talking about killing the foot?
Killing the
first before
foot.
you go to the knee?
You can't slide it through from like,
Yep.
kind
Yeah.
of like this.
So if we're here and I can't dominate the knee, I'm gonna have to, let's use this one. I'm gonna have to sit on his foot essentially, is how
Yeah.
Sam says. So my underarm is still anchored on his belt, and I'm literally just gonna sit on his foot, and it's killing this hook, so that when I elevate,
Okay.
I'm like
Yeah.
replacing this pressure with nothing. So he's like kind of pushing against me
Yeah.
because he wants to straighten his leg. I let that go through.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Any other cues? Cool, let's get with our partner. Mouth guard, water, then we'll go into positional. 1, 2, 3.